Hello all, welcome to Homeschool. And we are with the chapter Control and Coordination, isn't it? And in my previous video, we have actually started with hormonal system, right? Control and coordination, that is various processes that are happening with our body and inside the body is all because of two systems. One is nervous system, other one is hormonal system, right? So we started with hormonal system where we got to know what do you mean by hormone, right? And where they can be produced, isn't it? Say various glands are there, we call it as endocrine glands. They will secrete these special chemicals called hormones. In other words, we can call them as chemical messengers, isn't it? Say in today's class, let us discuss more detailed aspect about a gland, each and every gland. So which gland present in what area of human body, and what is the type of hormone that it can be produced, and what is the function of that hormone, that is the duty of that hormone, where it will act. This is what we have to discuss in this class. Very important class for examination point of view, so listen with utmost concentration. Yeah, so let us quickly go to the topic. The first and foremost, the very important gland that we are discussing is about, hypothalamus. Hypothalamus. Can you able to decide its location? I told you three things you have to discuss. One is location, other one is hormone produced or secreted, and the third thing is function of hormone, that is the duty of hormone. Okay, fine. First and foremost, location. Where is it present inside a human body? It is present in brain. Its location is brain, right? And which hormone it can produce? It will produce a very important and interesting hormone called releasing hormone. Releasing hormone. Okay. And what is its duty? This particular releasing hormone can control. It will control the hormones of pituitary gland. Hormones of pituitary gland. Okay, very important. Pituitary gland is the master gland in our human system, which can produce a very, very, very essential and important hormone. And those hormones have to be controlled always. And who will control them? Our releasing hormone will control them. So what do you mean by controlling a hormone? It's nothing. See, whenever a hormone is created inside a gland, that has to be released to the blood, I told. Okay. And how much amount of hormone has to go into the blood, and at what time the hormone has to be released into the blood. This is what we mean by controlling hormone. Right? So hormone is it can be created in a large amount, but the entire amount should not go into the blood. That much is not necessary. Right? Only few, there is a measurable amounts for a hormone to go into a blood. How much amount of hormone should go, at what time, how it should go, from where it should go. These things are controlled by our releasing hormone, which is produced in the hypothalamus gland of brain. Clear? So this is the function of hypothalamus. Right? Location is brain. Which hormone it will produce? Releasing hormone. What it will do? It will control the hormones of pituitary gland. Okay? So that's it. These are the three things you have to learn about each and every gland. That's what, guys. Okay? So next type of a gland, that is pituitary gland. See guys, pituitary gland is called master gland. Master gland. Okay, so why we call it as master gland is because this gland controls controls the hormones of other glands. Okay, like thyroid gland will secrete some hormone, pancreas can secrete some hormone, the testes and ovaries can secrete some hormones. All these hormones are actually controlled by the pituitary gland. Hormones produced in pituitary gland. That's why this is called master gland. Okay, and coming to the location. So where is this pituitary gland present? You can clearly observe in the picture that is displayed here. Where is it present? It is present in a brain. Even this hormone is present in a brain. Okay, and coming to the hormone that is produced, which hormone pituitary gland can produce? It will produce the growth hormone. It's a very important hormone. Okay, not only the growth hormone, it can produce various other hormones also, like oxytocin and all, where you will study about them in the higher classes. Right now they are not required. Just try to remember only one hormone secreted by pituitary gland, that is growth hormone. Okay, so what will the growth hormone do inside a body? Right, the name itself says helps in growth of various body parts. Okay, say for example, when we were of 5 years of age, our hand is of one particular size, legs were all of one particular size, but now our hands are grown, legs are grown, entirely each and every part of a body has been grown, isn't it? So it's all because of the hormone called growth hormone. So usually growth hormone is present in a larger amount when we were small. Okay, but once we grow, once our growth has stopped at a particular age, our growth hormone production also will get stopped. Now there is no need to grow our hand or legs, isn't it? Our growth has reached to a maximum level. Then that point of time, growth hormone production also will get stopped. Got to know? So when is the growth hormone is maximum? At what age the growth hormone will be maximum? When we are at a younger age, like our childhood. Okay, fine. So that's all about a pituitary gland. Okay, here you need to remember two important words here. Say, I am going to talk about the diseases also. Say for example, see, when do you get disease due to hormones is because if the hormone has secreted too much than necessary, it leads to a disease. If the hormone has not secreted at all, it leads to a disease, isn't it? So that is what we mean by disease. Okay, this is what we call hormonal imbalance. We would have observed the word hormonal imbalance means what? See, how much ever is necessary, that much amount of hormone is not produced. Sometimes the hormone is produced in a larger amount that is not needed. Sometimes the hormone is not at all getting produced. You know, that is also dangerous to a body. This is the condition where we call it as disease. Okay, say for example, if excess of growth hormone, if excess of growth hormone is produced in a body, okay, it leads to a disease called gigantism. Gigantism in the sense like people will grow very much taller in height, abnormal height. Right? You must have seen the people with 7 feet height, 7.5 feet height. You know, that's not a normal height. Normal height is what? 6 feet, 6 and 6.5 maximum. That's it, right? But 7 feet, 7.5, and much taller than that, you have seen them, right? So that is an abnormal height. Actually, that's a disease. You know how they have grown in an abnormal amount? It's all because they would have had lots of growth hormone in their childhood. Okay, so if lots of growth hormone is produced, you know, it leads to a disease called gigantism. Okay, growing very tall. What is gigantism? Gigantism in the sense growing very tall. Very tall. Okay. So in a similar way, deficiency of growth hormone, deficiency of growth hormone leads to dwarfism. Dwarfism in the sense, you must have heard about Lilliputs. Yes or no? They won't grow at all. 3 feet taller, 2.5 feet, 3 feet, 3.5 feet. Right? It's because they wouldn't have had that growth hormone during their childhood. Okay, so that's the reason. Dwarf in the sense what? Very short people, very, very short. Lilliputs we say, right? So that is also a disease in them. Like when they were a child, maybe they did not have enough amount of growth hormone. That's the reason they did not grow in height. Their height got stopped to 3 feet and 3.5 feet only. Such a disease is called dwarfism. Okay, so short, growing short is called dwarfism. Clear? So this is all about the pituitary gland that you have to remember. So location, which hormone does it secrete, what is its duty, and if excess of growth hormone is there, what disease? If less amount, that is deficiency of growth hormone, leads to dwarfism. Both are very, very important. Okay. Now let us go for discussing another important gland called pineal gland. Pineal gland. Okay, nothing much to discuss about this gland. Just try to remember its location. So where is it located? This also you can observe in a picture. Location is brain itself. And hormone that it can secrete is melatonin. Melatonin. So what is the function of melatonin? It controls sleep wake cycle. Okay, it can control sleep wake cycle. Like we sleep at a particular time, during night only we get sleep, right? And the moment the sun comes during daytime, we wake up, isn't it? We have a particular clock in us. We call it as biological clock. In a sense, at a particular time we feel that sleepy feeling. At a particular time we feel very much fresh and we awake, isn't it? So this sleeping and waking pattern can be controlled by the hormone called melatonin. If you have more amount of melatonin or less amount of melatonin, it can lead and it can disturb your sleep wake cycle actually. Right? Some people feel more sleepy. They wanted to sleep more. It may be because of more melatonin they have. And when they don't have melatonin, they won't get sleep only. It leads to depression, isn't it? So imbalances in melatonin will affect your sleep wake cycle actually. Your biological clock will get disturbed if you find imbalances in melatonin. Okay. So anyway, all those is not required. Just remember the 3 points about the pineal gland. Right? And next we will go for the thyroid gland. The thyroid gland, you can clearly observe the picture of a thyroid gland. Tell me, where is it located? Definitely looking at the picture, you can say that thyroid gland is located in throat area. Okay, located in throat, just below the pharynx, right? And above the trachea, you have that thyroid gland, right? And what hormone it can secrete? It can secrete a hormone called thyroxine. Very important hormone, guys. It will secrete a hormone called thyroxine. So what is the duty performed by thyroxine? Thyroxine regulates. Thyroxine regulates in the sense controlling. Okay, it will control carbohydrate, protein and fat metabolism. Okay, so what do you mean by the word metabolism? Metabolism means quicker digestion. Say the moment you take carbohydrates, if very quickly they are being utilized in a body, very quickly if they are breaking down, very quickly if you are getting energy, and this is what we call metabolism. If it is happening very quickly, we call it as our metabolism is very fast, right? So if the digestion is not happening very quickly, if these guys are stored in a body as it is, we call our metabolism has become slow. So metabolism in the sense the speed with which the digestion is happening. Okay, so always the metabolism have to be faster. Yes or no? The moment you heat very quickly, if it is getting utilized and it is getting transformed into energy, it is nice thing, isn't it? But it should not happen too quickly also, right? It should happen, it all should happen with a particular time, right? So the digestion must not happen very quickly, the digestion must not happen very slowly also. Metabolism must be in a average, it should happen with a particular speed, average speed, then it is good for a body, isn't it? And this speed of digestion of carbohydrates, digestion of protein and digestion of fat, the speed can be regulated with the help of a hormone thyroxine. Okay, so if you have imbalances in the thyroxine hormone, like if more amount of thyroxine produced or less amount of thyroxine produced, so this metabolism will get affected. Okay, got to know? And usually iodine is very much essential. Take a note here, this note is very important. Okay, so iodine is essential, very much required, essential to produce thyroxine. Okay, so if a thyroid gland have to produce thyroxine hormone, what is necessary? Iodine is necessary. Okay, so that is why people say to take iodized salt. So when you take salt in a market, on a packet it will be written iodized salt. Yes or no? So iodine is actually present in a salt. We take in the form of salt, right? So why this iodine is required? It is required for the better production of thyroxine hormone by thyroid gland. Okay, so deficiency of iodine, if you don't take enough amount of iodine, what happens? You get a disease called goiter. You can observe the picture there. See, goiter in the sense what? Swollen neck will be swollen to this much, right? So that condition is called goiter. So when do you get goiter, guys? When you take less amount of iodine. If you take less amount of iodine, what will happen? Thyroxine hormone will not be secreted by thyroid gland, and something happens in the tissues of thyroid gland, it swells. That condition is called goiter. Okay, so it's a very important point to be noted, guys. So just note it down. Deficiency of iodine causes goiter. Okay, goiter, very important. Goiter in the sense what? Swollen neck, right? So this is all about, thyroid gland. And usually deficiency of iodine causes goiter. But when more amount of thyroxine is produced or less amount of thyroxine is produced, what happens, you get two diseases called hypothyroidism and hyperthyroidism. Okay, so anyway, that is not necessary. You will be learning in much higher levels. Just try to remember the names. I'm not noting it down. Just try to remember and you note it down in your books, right? So whenever there is an imbalance in thyroxine hormone, what are the two diseases you will get? Hyperthyroidism and hypothyroidism. Okay, fine. So that's all about the thyroid gland. And later we will move to the next important gland called pancreas. Okay, and this pancreas, where is it located? Location, you can observe the picture of pancreas there, right? So a leaf-like structure below the stomach. Okay, I can say it is located in abdomen area. Okay, below the stomach in the sense abdomen area, right? So what I will write here, abdomen, located in abdomen, okay, or below the stomach also you can write. And what is the hormone it can secrete? It can secrete two hormones, guys. One is insulin, okay, other one is glucagon. Other one is glucagon. But insulin is very important to learn here, right? And function. So what is the function of insulin? Insulin controls. Insulin controls. Actually, both hormones, they control sugar level in blood. Sugar level in blood. Okay, so carbohydrates after digestion, it will break down into sugar, like glucose sugar, isn't it? So these sugars keep moving in the blood through various parts of a body, and blood should have a particular sugar level. If sugar level increases, it leads to a disease. If sugar level decreases also, it leads to a disease. So how much ever sugar level have to be there, that much should be there in the blood. It should not exceed, it should not become low also, right? So both of them together can control sugar level in blood. Okay, so usually what insulin does is, insulin lowers, it will lowers the sugar level in blood. Sugar level in blood. Okay, so if you have high amount of sugar level in the blood, pancreas cells will detect. See, blood can flow near to the pancreas. Pancreas cells will actually detect how much ever sugar level is there or not. If sugar level is very high, pancreas will start secreting a hormone called insulin. And what will this insulin do? It will try to lower the sugar level in blood. Okay, so if insulin has not secreted, right, and then only you will get a disease called diabetes, right? So what I can write here is deficiency of insulin leads to a disease called diabetes. Okay, diabetes in the sense sugar. See, sugar, it's not a very big disease, but still it can affect various other activities that are running inside our body. Okay, glucose level should be controlled in the blood always, right? If glucose level increases, various other activities can get disturbed, right? So how is the glucose levels can get increased whenever insulin is not produced, because the insulin's duty itself is that, whenever glucose level is very high in a blood, it will try to lower the sugar level in a blood. Okay, and it's all a very nice mechanism actually. See, insulin is produced only when sugar level in the blood is more. Okay, and how do you know that? How do the pancreatic cells knows that sugar level is more in the blood? It's all again with the help of receptors and some special mechanism actually. So whenever blood shows high sugar levels, pancreas will detect, oh, blood has high sugar levels, I need to produce insulin. So the pancreas will produce insulin. So the moment insulin is produced, sugar levels will become low. And sometimes what happens is during fasting, when you don't take any food, what happens? Your sugar level becomes very low. Yeah. That point of time, the pancreas will get alert. How do pancreas knows that blood has less sugar? Because blood will flow near to the pancreas also, right? So pancreas will try to recognize, oh, sugar levels are very less in the blood, it will think. So that it will try to produce glucagon. So what is the function of glucagon here? Glucagon increases the sugar level in blood. Glucagon actually increases the sugar level in blood. Okay, so during fasting, when you don't take food for too much of time, your sugar level decreases. You feel giddiness and headache, isn't it? It's all because sugar level is decreasing in your blood. right? And again, pancreas will detect that situation and it will try to produce what hormone? Glucagon hormone. So this glucagon will try to increase the sugar level in a blood. Okay, so this is how both insulin and glucagon together can control sugar level in blood. Okay, whenever sugar level increases automatically in the blood, which hormone is secreted? Insulin. So what will insulin do? It will try to lower the sugar level. Okay, whenever sugar levels are getting dropped in the blood, our glucagon comes into a picture and this guy will try to increase the sugar level. Okay, and usually whenever insulin is not produced properly, automatically sugar levels will be increased too much. It leads to a disease called diabetes. Okay, so when people get a diabetes, they take insulin injections or insulin tablets, isn't it? Because pancreas is not working properly, it is not producing enough insulin. That's the reason from outside they are taking insulin, because to lower the glucose level in a blood, right? So always glucose level should be the controlled amount in the blood. It should not get increased, it should not get decreased. Yeah, so that's all about a pancreas. Coming to the next important gland, that is adrenal gland. Okay, so very important gland and a very interesting hormone it can secrete actually. Just look at the picture where is adrenal gland is present, so you can tell its location, I feel, right? So what is its location, guys? Above the kidneys. Okay, so adrenal gland is present above the kidneys. Both the kidneys have one knob-like structure on them. That is what we call adrenal gland. Okay, so what is the hormone that it can secrete? It can secrete a very interesting hormone called adrenaline. Adrenaline. Okay, adrenaline is also called as emergency hormone. Emergency hormone, and it is also called fright and flight hormone. Fright in the sense what? Frightening, fear. Fright and flight in the sense what? Due to fear we run, isn't it? So FLIGHT, flight hormone, right? Okay, see, when we see a lion, what happens? We should act very quickly, isn't it? When we see a lion approaching us, we get to feel very scared. That is what we call fright. And after getting a feeling of fear, we automatically run. To run, the information has to send from brain to leg muscle cells. That's different. But here, hormone also will work together with nervous system. See, to run, to do this physical activity, nervous system is helpful. But that a feeling of fear and a feeling of acting spontaneously is because of the hormone called adrenaline. Okay, so that's the reason, this is called fright and flight hormone. You know what actually happens? When adrenaline released into a blood, it will show its action on heart. Okay, so adrenaline is produced in adrenal gland, but its action is on heart here. Okay, so through the blood it will reach heart. Through the blood it will reach heart, and the heartbeat increases. Heartbeat increases. Okay, so whenever you are very scared, say automatically when a lion comes to you, your heartbeat raises, isn't it? Dub, 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 it beats to a faster rate, right? So heartbeat raises is all because of adrenaline. Okay, so adrenaline, that's the reason it is called emergency hormone. During emergency times, suddenly we get angry, suddenly we get frightened. It's all because of this hormone released called adrenaline. Okay, so that's the reason it is called emergency hormone or fright and flight hormone. Fright in the sense fear, frightening. Flight in the sense due to fear we respond by doing some activity, either running or whatever it is, right? That is what we mean by flight. Okay, fine. So when adrenaline released into a blood, it straight away reaches to the heart and heartbeat increases. Okay, so once the heartbeat increases, what happens is blood supply blood supply to the muscle cells increases. Blood supply to the muscle cells increases. Okay. And you know, contraction of diaphragm also takes place. Contraction of diaphragm occurs, breathing increases. You know, these are all the outcomes of adrenaline hormone. Okay, so whenever adrenaline is produced, suddenly heartbeat increases, more and more oxygen is supplied to our muscle cells because we have to run. Imagine lion has come to us. What we should do? We should not stand here. We should get more energy to run. We should run with more energy. How do you get more energy, guys? When more of respiration is happening in the muscle cells. So to occur respiration nicely in the muscle cell, we need oxygen, isn't it? So more and more oxygen supply can also happen whenever adrenaline comes into a blood. Got to know? So these are the various things occurred when adrenaline is created in a blood. See how beautiful mechanism is going on inside, right? It's all linked. Right? And whenever breathing increases, when you breathe more and more, you can able to supply more oxygen, right? So this oxygen is going to where? It is going to the muscle cells. Okay, so for some amount of time, digestion, various processes and all will get stopped because you know muscle cells must do more work with more energy. So entire oxygen will go to the muscle cells to run, to act, you know, out of fear. Got to know? So this is all about adrenaline hormone actually. And you know what is its function? What is its function? This is not the function. Whatever I have written here is not a function. I just told you whenever adrenaline comes into a blood, what happens? Like this is the reason why it is called fright and flight hormone and emergency hormone, right? Function is different. You know, adrenaline controls. It controls heartbeat. Regular heartbeat can be controlled by adrenaline, and it also controls blood pressure. It controls blood pressure. Okay, so which is the target organ for adrenaline? Heart is the target organ, but where it is produced? Above the kidney it is produced. So if it is produced in more amount, you know who will get affected? Heart only will get affected. Yeah. Okay, so it's all relating to the heart. Adrenaline's function is to control heartbeat and it can control blood pressure also. Okay, remember it is called emergency hormone or fright and flight hormone. Try to remember what happens, what changes occurs in a body whenever adrenaline comes into a blood. Okay, fine. Next, we will move for the two reproductive glands called testes and ovaries. The testes and ovaries. So testis is present in males. Testis is present in males. Okay, and ovaries are present in females. You can observe the picture how they look and where they are present actually, right? So what is the location of testis? Testis are present in the scrotum. They are present in the scrotum below penis. Scrotum is present below the penis. Okay, the skin like structure is called a scrotum where you have two testes. Okay, and what is the hormone secreted by testis? It is testosterone. It's a very important hormone, testosterone. Okay, so what is the function of testosterone? Testosterone is helpful in developing male sex organs. Okay, so males at a particular age, say for example, when do they develop full-fledged male sex organs? Is during puberty. During puberty. Okay, puberty in the sense age 13, 14, 15. At that particular age, you know, the boys will have certain characters like growing beard, change in the voice, right? And their genitals will change, you know. So all this is because of the testosterone. So which is the hormone generated during puberty time from testis? It is testosterone. Okay, so similarly in females, ovaries. So ovaries, the location, ovaries are present only in the females. Okay, so where are they located? They are located in abdomen region. Okay, like there are two ovaries, we have two testes. In the same way, two ovaries will be there in a females. Okay, and these guys actually generate a hormone. There are two important hormones generated in females. One is progesterone and estrogen. These are called female hormones, and their duty, what is their duty? They help in developing female sex organs. Okay, this is also in case of during the age of 13-14, that is during puberty. Okay, so even in females many changes do occur at puberty age. Their genital structure will get changed, and this is all because of the hormones progesterone and estrogen. Okay, so this is all about the testes in males and ovaries in females, and about all the endocrine glands. Okay, and this is how various hormones can be secreted from various endocrine glands and their function, their duties. Got to know? So with this we have completed the control and coordination in human beings, right? And control and coordination in human beings is because of nervous system and hormonal system. So each and every aspect is important to remember. In my next video, let us talk about the control and coordination in plants. Okay, so till then keep revising the concept, and if you like our video, please like it, share it and subscribe for more updates to learn the concepts in an easier way and in a detailed way. Thank you.